Okay, so hello everyone, I'm AnnaB and this is JazzMarie, and today we're doing a different type of interview. We're doing a sit-down interview with Miss Madison Jaye.
Hey, the princess of entertainment.
Oh, I love how they did that. I was like half and half. One takes. That was cool. You go, guys.
You know we try. No, but thank you for taking the time out to sit down with us. I know you're a busy lady. You've been all over. You just came back from Chicago. So for the people who don't know you, just give them a little background information about you and everything that you do because you're so involved.
Oh, okay. First and foremost, thank you guys for having me. Completely honored that you would even consider me, especially for the first of stuff, because that's like your first baby, the first attempt to doing something better. So I'm completely honored to sit with you guys. But me, this is always a difficult question because I do a lot. First and foremost, I would like to say I'm a journalist, media personality. I've worked with a lot of famous people. I have the Madison Jaye Show. It's a podcast which is recorded at SiriusXM. Shout out to my producer Jameson Bennett, who is awesome.
Hey.
We've had like Carol Minaj, Lisa Ray. Most recently, I've had Tobias off of Bravo's The Singles Project, which is an amazing show. But the show is just like, it's my baby, and like you guys, it's starting, it's found its voice, and now it's just, I'm watching my baby start to crawl. She's out of the little, so it's pretty cool. That's that's the first thing that I do. But I also work at the Quiet Storm on 107.5 WBLS with Lenny Green. He's amazing. I'm his digital producer, but I think that's the official title. But I'm not just his digital producer. I also train, different interns that come in to produce it, and I'm in board engineering training. So it's a lot. I also helped him with some of his bookings and some of his PR work as well. And it's just, I think that sums it up. But just to name a few people that I've worked with, I did Say Yes video with Michelle, Beyonce, Kelly. I've interviewed a ton of people, Estelle, Marsha Ambrosia, Music Soul Child, Luke James. A lot of people. So I do a lot.
Yes, you're very involved.
Yes.
Okay, so for people like us, like how did you get to where you are now? I know now, me and Jazzy, we started our own YouTube channel, and that's this is our baby. But we also we want to know how did you get to where you are now? Like what steps did you take, and just give us a.
Okay, how did I get to where I am now? First, I've been doing this for 2 years. A lot of people
just started?
Yeah.
Right. We over here.
Yeah.
We didn't even make 2 years yet.
I've always been creative. My twin sister and I, Pilar Scratch, she's a celebrity stylist. We work hand in hand, but we also grew up poor. And there's one thing that I've realized. When you grow up in poverty and you go through a lot of pain in your life, it teaches you. Pain is the best teacher in the entire universe. So I've always been creative. I know how to turn nothing into something. I know working hard and having to walk at least 3 miles from Newark South 17th Street all the way to Hillside High every day just to make sure I had an education. Okay. So I feel like all of my pain and the struggles that I went through, it brought me here, and it gave me that foundation because I was always a good kid, honor roll student, and I would always ask myself, why me? Why have I been homeless? Why have I been parentless? But all of that, it's molded me to the woman that God has me destined to be. So the one key element that I have used to get where I am is faith. I am a big reader. I read. Education isn't not necessarily school, and school isn't necessarily education. I did go to school, and I have a degree. I have 1 degree. And it was challenging, especially doing everything by yourself. But when I was going back to school for my 2nd degree, the thing that actually made me drop out, this is my 2nd degree, but I stopped going. The reason why I stopped going is because the professor asked me, can I help him with his assignments? And then after that, I got an offer from Columbia University at the time to be an adjunct professor, but I didn't feel like I was ready. So that's when I left school. When I'm sitting here and professors are asking me to help with agendas, and there's something else. I'm not supposed to be here right now. The one thing that I did learn from school when I went to school was I learned a lot of skills. What people fail to realize is I was always an honor student, but I wanted everything to be fast, and I just wanted the paper. And everyone is like that. Come on, let's be honest.
You don't want to get paid.
Exactly. You go to the classes, you get 6 classes a semester like I did. You don't focus in on anything. You're just learning to pass the next quiz. You're not learning to obtain knowledge. And truth be told, the reality of the situation, especially if you want to be an entrepreneur or if you journalism, let's just stick to journalism real quick. A piece of paper is not going to do anything for you. It may get you a nice little internship.
How I feel right now.
It will get you because this industry is founded on relationships.
Right.
And a lot of those genuine, nurturing relationships where you guys build together. I'm into creating win-win situations. I'm not just gonna work with you and you're not getting anything around it. I think one of my favorite quotes is, if you're not getting anything from me, if I'm not making you a better person, there's absolutely no reason for you to be around me. If you are not growing from us working together, or even in my personal life, that is one thing about me, because I'm an energy-based person. I'm really spiritual, but that's probably that's to answer your question about school.
Right.
But to backtrack to how did I get here? A lot of faith, consistency, and hard work. And I have come to the realization that people don't want success. No one wants success. What people want is they want the image of success. No one understands, and I did an entire segment about this on my show, in my Let's Talk segment. I was like, let's talk entrepreneurship. And I had this list of maybe 12 to 15 different things that people don't understand that it takes to be successful. Like, you will neglect your family. You will have to neglect your family at some point in time because someone has to be the anchor for people to be successful in the family, to get out of poverty, or someone has to do that. So you will neglect your family. There's no such thing as birthdays or holidays. There's late nights and early mornings. It sounds cool, but the reality of that is it's exhausting.
Yes.
And I think everyone, even a videographer, can relate to that. Like, when you're on your grind, it's difficult. You don't have, especially when you're following your purpose, you don't have room for anything else, because God has you doing something for a reason and you have to obey it. And that's just me.
No, I definitely agree with that, because I think me and Jazzy both, like, I think, like, graduating from college, we're just thinking, like, there's certain steps you have to take to become, like, a personality. And I think, like, you know, we didn't, like, take, I mean, I guess we just didn't really appreciate, like, our position, and just, like, having to connect and be like, oh, we gotta do this, we gotta do that.
Yeah.
And we just really gotta, like, embrace it, because I feel like, you know, we have this for a reason. So I'm glad you said that, because we out here like, oh, what we gotta do, we gotta do this, we gotta get internship, we gotta do this, like, you know, but it's really no specific set way.
There's no formula.
Right.
Yeah. So, and that's another thing, there isn't a formula. So that's what, because at first when I started out, and if you look at my older interviews, I keep them up, just so people can see my growth as a journalist too.
Which is very important.
Yeah, it's very important for younger, and if you want, you go look. Y'all gonna have, if you want a good laugh.
No, if you want a good laugh, I think you should
No,
see
you can check
our
out
first
that
one.
and give us feedback.
Okay, let's do it for each other, because that's the
Okay.
only way to grow. So like, but it's good to also, we'll get into that in a second. I got so much I want to talk about, but it's important to see the older interviews. The one thing that I would do when I first started out is I took the Wendy Williams approach, where it was celebrity gossip, celebrity gossip, celebrity gossip. And a good friend of mine told me, you know, you're good at this. You're really good at celebrity gossip. But I told them, I'm like, it's not me. Like, it doesn't feel like me. And so they told me to follow my effort. They asked me what comes naturally to me. And I said, I love helping people and I love teaching people. That's like, at first I started out as an art major because I also draw. And I wanted to be an art teacher. But I was like, you know, I love teaching people and I love, like, connecting people. And they said, maybe you are meant to be a teacher, but maybe it's in a different way. So when I started doing my celebrity interviews, what I would do is I would ask them questions that people need to know, that entrepreneurs need to know to make it. Like, I remember when I interviewed Estelle, I asked her, what kept you going when you felt like giving up? That's an important question.
Because everyone
no one wants to talk about that.
Yeah, I feel like everybody talks about, like, yeah, we
The
in a
good
club, we
stuff.
got a million.
The image of success. They talk
don't
about
talk about
the
the bad
image.
times.
They don't want to talk about that.
You need to hear that because it influences you, and it shows like, yeah, I was once in your positions. It's relatable. So.
Yeah. And I also like Marsha Ambrosia. She told me, I asked her, what would you say to someone who wants to get into this business? She said, what business are you getting into? You are the business. So that one, and Bobby Valentino, but I'm gonna say this one to go to the next point. But Bobby Valentino, like, what he told me was he doesn't do everything for money. Like, he still goes out there and he does it because he loves it and this is his calling. Tweet, let Beyonce be Beyonce. Like, I've interviewed all of these amazing people, and the one thing that I realized is I started to connect some of my dots. I started to realize that by asking these questions, not only are these artists helping me, but they're going to help other entrepreneurs. And it's not necessarily just a musician or someone like that. I've interviewed a lot of people, and I make sure I ask the questions for the people who want to be in this business. And that's when the voice of Madison Jaye started to connect, especially with the show. Because for so long, you guys know, when it comes to when you're doing your own content, it's not just, people don't understand how hard this personality thing is. It's not just let me grab a mic and speak. It's never that. It's a structured conversation, because I believe that media and music are the two most powerful influences in the world. And as a journalist, we have a responsibility to know what we're putting out to the general public, because we have a lot of foolery out there right now. Like when I started, I was taking the Wendy Williams approach and gossiping. Now I moved into pop culture, and I don't post any old celebrity news. I don't care who you're having sex with. I don't care about none of that. I care what the stuff that I post about. It's very detailed. I make sure, like, when my writers, and shout out to Annie Jules, love her, she's one of my writers, I hand select my writers, because I believe your platform isn't any good if you can't give other people opportunities. So I hand select my writers and I give them that platform, and I make sure they're aware of the content they're feeding the world, because it's our job.
So getting back into what you were saying about platforms and media, I know you tweeted earlier in the week about how, you know, you want your people, I guess your website, the website you have, to have everybody to have their own voice, to be themselves, and not have like content that isn't necessary.
Yeah.
So how do you make sure you like stray away from that? What exactly do you talk about on your website?
Oh goodness. I talk about everything a girl. What someone said the website is, it's a lifestyle site, and it's what every girl wants to talk about. And what I mean by that is, come on, we're girls. Let's be real here.
Girl talk.
Girl talk. We want to talk about fashion. Realistically, especially with the Kim Kardashians and Beyoncés and Solanges of the world. We like fashion, we like beauty, we want makeup tips. We want to know what's going on with celebrities. You know, we just want to have something to talk about when it's just our girls sipping that wine. And you know, we're not dumb women either, so we want to talk about books.
Right.
We want to talk about books. We want to, as women, we're naturally nurturers, so we care. We want to know what charity work is going on out there, or being involved in the community. We naturally want to do that. That's in us, every single woman. So why not talk about all these things? And that's what I do. We're spiritual-based beings, and it's important to connect with here. So I really do practice affirmations. Our mind is so powerful, again. It's the only thing that goes with us. Our minds actually take us to another realm of life while we're sleeping. So it's important to feed your mind. So I have a book club. It's called the Jaye Strong Book Club.
I was just gonna ask you about that.
Oh, here I go, just leading your question.
No, it's good,
Let me shut up. You know, I'm good with leads. I think I'm good with
I know.
leads.
Do this.
But no, but you already brought it up, so let's talk about the book club, because I think it's different. A lot of people don't have, you know, like a book club, and like you said, it is important to feed your mind. But I think you know,
your spirit.
Yeah, a lot of times we never really share books. Like we be like, oh, what new song is that? Or what? Nobody never says like, what you reading? Like, you know, I think that's really important. So I really like the book club idea.
Yeah, it is good, and it's really I don't think I'm afraid of failure anymore. I failed a lot, so
you gotta fail to succeed. That's what they say.
Yeah, and there's this one quote, like Oprah. She said, "I probably failed more than anyone else in this room," and that's what it takes to succeed. Icing on the cake. There you go. Pop the 5. Yeah. But the book club, Jaye Strong. The reason why I came up with the concept is because, just to backtrack a little, there's actually a label of them. There's Jaye Dolls for the girls. There's Jaye Royals for the community, like everyone. There's Jaye Gents, which I'm going to start exposing more towards the summer. And there's also Jaye Strong. Jaye Dolls is for, of course, you know, the females, because again, we like to feel beautiful, and that's what the site is. The book club is just there because, especially the urban communities, we don't read. And what I mean by we don't read, like, I can honestly say maybe within this last year I started reading. And I remember asking someone that, and I was like, just keep it real. You know, people are like, oh, I read, you know, I'm in college, da da da. I said, no. Let me make this very clear. When you're in school and you are reading just for an assignment,
it's not really like,
it's not reading. I was an honor student so many times my sister got sick of coming to honor roll banquets for me. It got annoying. But I would just read to get through the assignment, especially because I was taking so many classes. So I created the book club because our foundations is our mind and our spirit, and there you have to have those aligned, mind, body, and spirit. Once you feed your mind, it starts to train the rest of your body to move differently. So I would say within the last year, I have become a reader, especially as I've been connecting more with God and my spiritual faith. I read. It takes me on a creative experience, and what I realize is it's very similar to Jaye Dolls, where I just want to bring out that feeling of how a doll made you feel when you were a young girl. It made you feel beautiful. Jaye Gents is because we're missing, I think that's self-explanatory, we're missing gentlemen, and I want to build an army of men who believe in treating a queen like a queen in order to be treated like a king. Jaye Royals is because I believe every one of us, you, point to the camera guy. You. Hey, everybody. Everyone walking down the streets of Manhattan right now. I believe we are all royalty. And I also believe, since I practice affirmations, that what we speak into existence. And honestly, that's what I see in everyone. I see kings and queens. And I know I'm a cheesy person.
But I'm
real. I'm being honest. This is how I feel.
When I first emailed her, she wrote me back like, "Hey, queen," and it's just funny because we're not used to being addressed like that. So I was like, "Oh wow, like me, like you're just not used to that." Like it was different because we're just like, "Hey," and she was like, every time she wrote me back, it was, "Hey, queen." I'm like, wow, and you're just so uplifting and positive. Like on your timeline, you can see your followers. Like when I see people like tweet you, they're always like, "Yeah, you're so uplifting," and you like share your stories. So like, how do you overcome the hardships and the negativity that may come your way?
I love how you just asked that question. Great journalism skills, everyone. Let's put that one. That was good. The negativity comes. Ooh, this is a 2-part
especially
book.
on social media. Like you're so available, so people could just like Kid Rock said that thing about Beyonce with tons of bees. Like under like you could just voice your opinion, and it's like people would slander you.
They would go off.
So like, how do you deal with it?
Okay, boom, boom, boom. Me and my sister, I believe we are yin and yang, but somehow we really just work because we're complete opposites. Like my sister's a clap back. Like she does not tolerate any form of disrespect.
She seems like she has like a strong like
like my sister.
Like she will get you. Pilar, she don't, but she's a really sweet person. But when that disrespect comes, it's over. Like my nephew River, he has this thing where he'll be like, "Juanito, it's over." So it's done. How do I handle the negativity? I remember there was this one time. It was actually the first negative comment I've ever gotten on Instagram. Someone, it was a fake account with like 3 pictures on it, type no picture up yet. And the fake account said, "You will never be nothing more than a hood bitch from Newark. No one cares about your fucking videos. Stop posting them, bitch."
That's a lot of hate. That's a lot.
Like you really just took mad.
I remember the words.
Like
the thing is, I remember the words. I've got hateful emails. I've had people kind of like threaten me, like, "I'm gonna meet you up at the station and F you up."
But why? Is it people you had personal problems with? You just think they didn't?
Or like people that don't know.
That's the thing. I don't know. But if you're making a fake account, then more than likely someone who does know me. It's hard, and it's lonely. This industry is lonely. I'm by myself a lot because I don't really keep up walls for people. I'm a very open person, and I have to keep that wall of distance between people because I have a big heart. So I have to stay away. But I think that's why God made me and Pilar opposites, because Pilar will be like,
she be there for you. Like,
"No, it ain't going down." I always tell her, "I need more of you need more of me, son." But yeah, so it is. But I'm fortunate. Like, but God has really put a lot of like-minded people into my energy, because what you give, you attract. And I will say, I have a great team that I can be myself around, and no one takes advantage of it. And the thing is, don't get me wrong, I will cut a throat really quick. I don't want to. Because I'll be nice, I'll be fair, but I don't want to be nice. But at the end of the day, personally, I don't like people getting too close to me.
Right.
Because it's those same people who write those comments. Those are the people who are usually closest to you.
Right.
And you can tell when there's jealousy involved. You can feel it. Or when it's resentment. Even when you treat people the way they want to be treated. But it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with you. It has something to do with how they feel about themselves. And sometimes you have to realize that.
Right, I know.
I just went in.
Recently, no. But it's good that you did, because like I really wanted to know the answer to that, because recently someone actually asked us, like, how would you guys respond to like a negative comment? And we never really got a negative comment. So I'm just like, I don't know. I'm the last of 6 children, so I don't think it's anything anybody could say that will hurt my feelings. But like,
yes,
somebody,
it is. So let somebody pick with your insecurities. Yes,
No,
we all have them. We all have them.
Right, but I'm saying like it never really happened to us, so we don't know
Prepare
yet. So
for
when they asked us, we were just like.
But it's kind of like what you said before. You put your flaws out there. That it's not really much people can really say.
You cannot embarrass me because I have no
tell
secrets.
Me what I knew that.
Well, listen, I got eczema, so come at my eczema, because I don't play.
I can't tell what
I don't play.
But and the funny thing is, because what I did was in my first retaliation, now I just don't say anything back. It goes away. What you feed into, you breathe life into.
Right.
So now I just ignore it. But back in the day, I remember, because they used to hurt my little feelings.
Right.
I'm sensitive. I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about my stuff.
Okay, Erica. Come through.
But I posted it on my Instagram, and I posted it on my Facebook, right? So I would say I probably got like 200 comments. 200 comments of people going in on this person, like, who is this female? Like people like, I will fight her. Like who is she? Like people really just like supporting. And then at the end of all of this, like people saying you're successful, this. And I remember this one comment that stuck out to me. And it was one of my cousins down south. And she said, Madison, you're entertaining this one comment and breathing life into it, but look how much support you have.
Right.
We as human beings tend to feed onto the negative aspects of things, and we can have so many positive things going on around us, but that one one thing, we all do it. And so from that point on, I hit up on her DM and I said, you're right, you just taught me, thank you. Never did it again. But it still hurt. Like I'll get a kick out of it. Call one of your girlfriends. Like, look at what she said.
Right.
You know,
she
not your sister. But don't breathe life into it. Just and prepare for it. It's coming.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Got my armor on.
That's a good one. The armor of God. You need that on. That's what you need.
Won't he do it?
Yeah. And that's what another thing, Monifa, when I interview her, I really learned from these artists when I interview them.
So before you get into that, then who would you say is your favorite person that you interviewed?
Ooh.
And
okay, I know it's gonna say cheesy to say I don't have a favorite, but I want to say, if I want to give a certain quality, like my most fun, where I just like let loose fun interview, because I've learned all of them are my favorites. And because like I'm sitting here telling you, I can't say like, if you learn from different people, you can't really say, if they taught you different things, you can't say, oh, this is my favorite, because it's not really comparable.
Yeah, it's different. Okay.
Yeah, because I enjoy all my interviews. I enjoy all of them. They are amazing human beings. Everyone that I've interviewed is amazing. But where I've had the most fun, where I just felt like, how is this conversation gonna be professional? I can't stop laughing. How many edits am I gonna have to do?
I'm always laughing.
Yeah, it was the most fun interview, off scripted, unscripted, raw, authentic. It was with Fat Man Scoop.
Fat Man Scoop.
Right.
Can you think about how an interview with him?
He probably was super turned. Like he's always turned. So I know he was super turned.
Like he started doing his Fat Man Scoop thing. Like, oh, he was like, go Madison, go, and I started dancing. I'm like, like, come on, how do you got Fat Man Scoop singing, go Madison? I'm getting down. Like you're singing my name. Like what? And then it just got so it wasn't unprofessional. It was really like, it was unscripted, and I just loved it. And I still, like, when we were talking, I was like, so, because he has a Grammy for Lose Control with Missy Elliott and Sierra, and I asked him, I was like, how was it? How was it receiving a Grammy, and how was it working on Lose Control? He said, Madison, it was a mistake.
It wasn't supposed to happen?
What, Lose Control?
Lose Control.
That's a good dancing song too.
Yeah, and he said, I was just, because he has a radio show as well, he was like, I was just walking into the studio and Missy and Sierra were recording it. I'm leaving out the door and I go, oh, put it down now, put it down now. He was like, Missy, the genius that she is, was like, stop, get in the booth. Get in the booth right now. She said, get in the booth right now. And that's how he got a Grammy. Celebrities get comfortable with me, and I like that.
But that's a good thing
though.
Yeah, but you know what you have to do when you're, because you have to channel it. I'm gonna study your body gestures. Like I study affirmations, I study alignments, I do all of that. What do you want to talk about? That's always a great lead into something. If you're here to promote something, I'm highlighting it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
We're talking about it, and you're gonna love it, because it's gonna be like we're kicking it on the couch. And I will do that. I will lead it by body gestures, kind of like this. You know, I'm talking to you right now. It makes people feel more at ease. Let me do it right quick. Hold on. So you talk to them kind of like this. Yes, you do it like this, and you just talk to them, and you have a real conversation.
Okay, so we want to thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for coming here and sitting with us and talking to us and getting to know us.
I love you guys.
Thanks. I had a great time.
Can we hug? Oh, I love you.
Okay,
I love them.
Anything else like you have coming out, you want us to look at, you want people to look at, just tell us now.
Okay, well, you can catch the podcast, The Madison J Show, on SoundCloud, but everything is right there on my website. You can connect to Madison J TV, Madison J Radio, even Jaye Strong, the branch that I'm launching, right there on madisonj.com, and that's Jaye, J as in James, A as in Apple, Y as in Yo-Yo, E as in Elephant, .com.
Ooh, thank you. I really enjoyed this.
I did too. You guys are so amazing.
Thank
you. Thank you.
We done.
Hey guys, it's your girl here, Madison J, the Princess of Entertainment, and you're watching The Connect TV. Stay connected.